wrestling debate.
I don't know if you noticed when taking apart the announce table, he was about to like scrape. I guess was it Michael Cole's iPad off the? And he's like, oh wait a minute, it's probably Michael's. I better not chuck it off the announce table.
Yeah. You're probably very pissed off.
Yeah. And now here's Tyler Werner and Wayne Kirchhoff.
Welcome to another edition of the Great Wrestling Debate as we head into SummerSlam. We got a pretty set card, I think. Pretty good card for this year's SummerSlam. A nice mix of matches, obviously, led by the big John Cena and Brock Lesnar main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And I think we're coming off a better edition of Raw than last week. Would you say?
I don't know. They toned down the 999 a little bit.
A little bit. I mean,
it still got ridiculous at a point.
Yeah. And they still had, Dean Ambrose kind of sneaking in.
I still think the Hulk Hogan celebration potentially interfered with some storyline development and so on.
Yeah, definitely. I wasn't a big fan of the idea, but fortunately you had like Brock Lesnar coming out in that, in that segment.
Yeah, but I knew nothing was going to happen. If everybody was expecting a Hogan F5 or anything.
No, but
not at his age.
Right. No, but of course, like John Cena would come out, of course, to the rescue and is sporting his new T-shirt.
Yeah.
Going back to red, I guess.
I don't know. He looks like
white shorts.
He looks like a seasonal employee at Target pretty much now.
Yeah. So, that was I thought that was funny, but obviously, the show starting off with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman.
Yep.
Of course, now Brock Lesnar kind of sporting a Eat, Sleep, Conquer John Cena shirt.
Yep.
So, both kind of mixing up the shirts a little bit. But, that was obviously good work from Paul Heyman, as you would normally expect.
He really sold the network without shoving 999 down people's throats and that, pretty much.
Yeah, so that's
which is how you should be selling a pay-per-view, not saying, the price over and 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 over again.
And writing it down on a piece of paper and, putting it in front of Michael Cole's face.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously, good salesmanship, I guess, there from Paul Heyman and, kind of, not rapping, but writing some poetry. It seemed a little like it was poetry night when you had, Paul Heyman, and then later on Paige would do some poetry of her own there, I guess. But, nevertheless, a good opening promo to Raw. And, obviously later on you would expect, at some point John Cena was going to come out. So, that happened later on. As far as, the in-ring action goes, Roman Reigns kicks it off again with a handicap match against Ryback. So, it's kind of fun. I don't know. I kind of find it funny how, at one point, Ryback a couple years ago was the guy facing, the people in handicap matches, and now he's one of, with Curtis Axel.
Thinking it was mainly jobbers he just beat up, pretty much.
Right, yeah.
It wasn't like he ever faced anybody in a real handicap match or anything.
Yeah. So, but that ending in a DQ as both guys kind of just, on the outside attacking Roman Reigns. And then, afterwards, Roman Reigns looking strong, taking both guys down.
Yep.
And Renee Young coming in, and, I think one of Roman Reigns' better moments on the mic, I guess, fired up with the Portland crowd.
He's still not like the most creative guy on the microphone and so on, but
No, he's probably.
At least he's talking louder into the mic, I guess.
He's probably given what they doing whatever they tell him to do, I guess, mainly. But but that was pretty good stuff. And yeah, it seems like that believe that phrase is starting to catch on a little more, I notice. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I kind of said it in a very funny way.
Yeah, it was. Yes. So
it's like, believe that.
Yeah, a little different than. Yeah, it wasn't like angry. It wasn't like the normal like. It
wasn't like that. Like believe that.
Yeah.
It was like believe that.
Yeah. So that was,
oh my God.
Yeah. Let's hear it again. Yeah. Yeah. a little more of an eccentric Roman Reigns in that promo.
Yeah.
I thought, but it worked. I mean, he seems a little more, it shows another I guess level of comfort, I guess. Than
Yeah, sure. Another side to Roman Reigns.
so. Yeah, I mean, maybe not others, but at least like another, mood, kind of getting in the crowd a little more, I guess. But I mean, nevertheless, Raw rolled on. You had I'm trying to think here. You had like John Cena didn't come out until later, I think. But you had like Dean Ambrose. I guess apparently hiding in one of the gifts of Hulk Hogan and. Mm-hmm. When Seth Rollins was facing RVD, the match that we were supposed to have last week in the Beat the Clock challenge, which of course was changed as they put Heath Slater in place of that. But yeah, I mean, good match. And then after the match, Rollins has this inkling that maybe could Dean Ambrose be inside that big present that just totally looks like it could fit. A human body in there. Mm-hmm. And, evidently he was. At one point, I actually caught an angle, like, after it happened, and you could see there's, like, a point in the back of the GIF that, for Ambrose to easily, like, enter in, so, I guess it was kind of good planning, I guess you could say. It's not like, they just totally wrapped and boxed up Dean Ambrose and, just put him on the stage.
Yes, because even if it happened early in the show, I appreciate he would suffocate to death at some point.
Yeah, so... But and then that way, obviously, Dean Ambrose was watching, and then he was waiting for the right time, and he struck on Seth Rollins. So that, and then Dean Ambrose kind of he had a network plug in there.
Yeah.
Also, it's going to be a lumberjack match now. That we didn't even mention that yet.
That was just a stupid idea.
I don't understand.
Because I never really. I mean, because the whole plug seems to be, well, this is just so Rollins doesn't run away now. I mean, when did Rollins ever really run away in this feud here?
Yeah.
If you remember, if you go back to Battleground, the fight ended. Their match got canceled because Ambrose attacked Rollins in a backstage interview before their match, supposedly.
Yeah.
I mean, Rollins didn't really run away. In fact, then when they brawled, I mean, Rollins wanted a piece of Ambrose and so on there. I mean, both had to be separated. And now all of a sudden they're trying to play with this whole, Seth Rollins is clearly afraid of Dean Ambrose and so. And so clearly a lumberjack match makes sense here. I still play the whole idea that Money in the Bank would have made more sense in that. I mean, even if Dean doesn't win, at least it's a better match than a lumberjack match.
I don't know. Maybe they figure that, the Authority, like, putting that on the line for Seth Rollins. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they didn't. But a lumberjack match, I don't really understand either, because now it's like, other people are like kind of involved, and
to me, all it really is just to help other guys get a spot on the card, which means you get a bonus paycheck then for a pay-per-view appearance, supposedly.
Yeah, because there's definitely less filler on this card.
Yeah, I
mean, you have, for one thing, I mean, you have 2 Divas matches now, because obviously you have the Stephanie McMahon and Brie Bella one. So that, and then, you have Brock Lesnar, John Cena, you have Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, another main event caliber match. Mm-hmm. You have the flag match with Rusev and Jack Swagger. So yeah, I mean, a lot of these matches are going to be longer than normal length too. So yeah, obviously they didn't have a place for everybody on this card. I mean, they have tonight for the tag team belts, an open challenge for the Usos, so it doesn't sound like they're going to be on the card.
Well, pre-show probably.
Pre-show, yeah.
I can see it being a pre-show match. I don't know who's going to challenge in there, because the new Nation of Domination gimmicks died already, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Once again, they weren't present on Raw.
Well, they dropped the gimmick titles, supposedly. Yeah. They dropped the storyline. And the whole part, I mean, and you could probably would have figured it out if you watched Friday's Night SmackDown, because Big E just comes out and wrestles Rusev in a job match, pretty much, and that's about it.
Yeah.
No mention of Xavier Woods, no mention of Kofi Kingston, nothing. In fact, you just see Xavier Woods, Kofi, and Big E, and they're all wearing like their babyface attire, as if. Yeah. So WWE's whole excuse is that never happened. That whole angle just never happened.
Yeah.
It's an outrage.
It's not the first time they've done that to fans, and I guess it's because they think fans are stupid. I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, which is not gonna, And I feel bad for these guys here, because it pretty much means these guys are just going back to not doing nothing.
Lost
then
in the shuffle. Yeah. Yeah,
but
pretty much.
but it's just I the angle just really only one thing happened with this angle because Xavier Woods cuts a promo and that's about it. We don't know where they were going with it here. I don't know if somebody got nervous back and they said, well, we might actually cause a bad outrage and so on here. Like there might be some maybe the NWCP gets pissed off at the group. I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean. I do know that happened with the Crime Time gimmick, which would make sense. That was kind of a racist gimmick. That
Yeah.
having two African American guys actually went from the hood and stole stuff. That's pretty much racist stereotype right there. Speaking of which, Roberto Rio getting fired, I guess supposedly is interesting.
Yeah, I've heard. Yes, you talk about racism.
Racist.
Yeah. Well, apparently, from what I heard, like he attacked somebody from
The social media.
The social media yeah, or I don't know.
What happened was supposedly this guy, I forget the guy's name, that they brought up, but there was something about I guess he was eating in dishes and he just like said like, well, that's the real job to clean the dishes and that,
Yeah.
which is clearly a racist joke. I don't care what anybody says. That's clearly a racist joke. So the real he hears this and he comes in and he's clearly pissed off. He tells the guy apologize, and not only does the guy refuse to apologize, he's supposed to be smirking at Del Rio. Which then caused Del Rio to slap the holy piss out of the guy then. And like I said, he got supposedly fired for striking an employee in that. And I mean, I know a lot of people coming to the Rio's fans. I don't blame the man, but I also know, look, I mean, we all work with assholes in the workforce and that. I do find it hypocritical of WWE to keep that guy employed still as well.
Yeah.
Because clearly he started it.
Yeah.
And Del Rio clearly finished it in a way. But
he's probably getting paid, far less than Del Rio. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. But that's no excuse either way. There's no excuse to make that kind of a comment.
Right.
I mean, but look, I mean, Del Rio wasn't really doing anything in any way. And look, like I said earlier, the company's cutting so much that their break-even point for the network is going to go from 1.4 million to 500,000. So they're looking for any reason to fire somebody, pretty much.
Yeah.
So pretty much they said, look, here's the reason we can fire Del Rio.
Yeah.
He slapped the guy. I mean. I know already some people brought up, well, Randy Orton used to do this constantly back in the day, and he's still employed in the company, and never even got suspended at all on that. And I'm like, it's a different time period, though. I mean, Randy Orton's the golden child for this company, pretty much. I mean, some of those promos about him, being always this handpicked guy, they aren't really like. I would say they're kind of true. The guy's been suspended twice for failing a drug test. Most guys, that's it. In the main event. This guy somehow gets a world title shot again consistently. The guy just is like almost untouchable backstage.
Yeah.
Not to mention, when he does have outbursts, the other guy usually gets punished that he gave the outburst to. Kofi Kingston's push ended pretty much as soon as Orton got pissed off at him for supposedly botching a finish to a triple threat match.
Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention actually that Corporate Kane came back out once again. Kind of last week on Raw we kind of saw the foreshadowing of that. So Corporate Kane is apparently back as director of operations.
Which all means is that we don't need to hear the word Demon Kane.
He's not
anymore.
and that he's probably not gonna compete as much or any I don't know. Well, I guess that remains to be seen, but
I mean,
back to the guy in the suit.
I mean, but Uncle Fester's back pretty much. It was the best way to put it.
So that kind of had a bearing, I guess, on the Roman Reigns handicap match there. Yeah. So that we moved through Raw. I mean, obviously there were some guys that were missing last week that this time you had Sheamus back. Who wasn't on Raw last week? Who was they said he'll face Randy Orton later on in the show. Of course, you had the Divas storyline, the Divas Championship storyline, I guess you should say. With one of those roll up pins because Paige interfered and kind of just like really, but so they'll have another match at SummerSlam. And of course, obviously, you had the big moment, I guess, or whatever, big segment in the ring with Stephanie McMahon, and supposedly Daniel Bryan's physical therapist.
Yeah,
supposedly
I all of a sudden like did not like this feud anymore.
Yeah.
mainly because WWE still almost feels like it was a TNA storyline that even people hated. The Claire Lynch storyline, where this woman actress would come on, and I'm not gonna lie, the woman actress that played Claire Lynch in TNA looks very similar to this woman right here. So I don't even know it's the same person they just brought in and so on. But like that story was like the whole idea of like Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian claimed that they had this person that supposedly has slept with AJ Styles and like so on and had. In fact, I remember Christopher Daniels even during Twitter. I guess he was watching Raw. And all he said was, "Don't look at us. Don't look at us." Like we're not responsible for to be stealing this gimmick, the storyline, which we thought was a bad storyline to begin with. But I mean, no, I don't know. I just as soon as I saw her introduce this person, I'm like, oh god, they're not gonna go Claire Lynch.
Random, You could tell like from the like the way she was walking to the ring, and you could tell it was coming. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess more remains to be seen out of that whole thing, but I guess at least part of the idea is
WWE is smart that they should have a freaking lawyer come out next week and just say, we found out that Stephanie lied about it. This never happened. Blah blah blah. Just kill that, because to me, this is how you kill a storyline. You make it way too more complex than it needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I was perfectly happy with the Brie Stephanie feud over the whole idea of Brie sick and tired of abusing her husband, abusing her sister, blah blah. That's it. That's all you can go with here.
Yeah.
Why you gotta throw in now this person might be sleeping with this guy and so storyline now. There's no point to it.
Yeah, and Stephanie McMahon starting yes chants as to what this physical.
Well, it was just yes. It was yes.
Yeah. So that was interesting segment. I guess a one positive thing is, while Daniel Bryan's away, I mean, they're at least like keeping his name in the,
I don't think Daniel Bryan fans want him to come back
no.
and play the, Brie, it was only one time and so and so. I mean, unless you might turn the guy heel all of a sudden, which I think would be a huge mistake on their part.
No, I mean, no, because I mean, probably this is going to continue. You think that in the storyline, like Daniel Bryan in reality didn't have an affair. Maybe there's some misunderstanding. I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see. I mean,
that'd be smart. You drop the angle next week.
Yeah,
they were smart,
or they just quick solve it and say, no, this is really what happened, or what didn't really happen.
I didn't like it in TNA. I'm not gonna like it in WWE, even if it's in HD quality and the actors might be 10 times better, maybe.
Yeah, because we don't. Yeah, because it looks kind of dumb, like when they suddenly drop the whole thing with Big E and Xavier Woods and those guys. So I don't know, maybe they could, but they have their match, I guess. Obviously she mentioned if Brie Bella, gets out of jail and whatever for the match, so I guess
and like I said, obviously I knew that was coming as soon as she slapped her, because I'm like they wouldn't be consistent here. You could say Brie Bella slapped a non-employee too.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, that's what they did.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it might have been the same police officers too coming down the rest of it.
Maybe,
which I find hilarious, because that was Miami and this is Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
I don't know how big their jurisdiction is in that.
Yeah, I guess talk about irony there, but yeah, I mean, so
I gotta go back and watch those make sure it's not the same guys, because if it is that's just completely just laziness on their part.
Yeah. And it's Finley and what was it, Jamie Noble. I mean, they're like officially guys that just like come out to break up scraps and stuff.
Well, that's always been the job of an agent, Tyler.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it's just kind of funny, like
I mean, there's other jobs that other jobs obviously helping planning matches backstage of wrestlers and so on, and I mean, there's other behind the scenes that happens off camera, but obviously on camera it's you're kind of like a bodyguard to the green. You come out and you break up fights in that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you had that whole storyline, interesting segment, interesting match, I guess, for the SummerSlam card.
Yeah.
Obviously that has overshadowed the Divas Championship storyline, which gets like lately gets like 2 or 3 minutes a pop on Raw or SmackDown, and here you kind of have multiple segments out of Brie and Stephanie McMahon, so obviously a little different situation there, but But
I'm just waiting for the moment when Stephanie challenges for the Divas Championship and against AJ
Yeah.
at one point.
yeah, so you have those two matches on the card. You don't. I don't think we had Bo Dallas out there tonight, unless it
No.
was except maybe he was on the stage when they had the whole.
Well,
Hulk
yeah,
Hogan.
but
I don't remember.
everybody was on the stage for the Hulk Hogan one. I mean,
Yeah, at
Yes,
least most guys.
yeah, like he had some guys
mid
that
card talent and below.
no, but I mean they had some main event. I mean, how they even had Chris Jericho like after who all of a sudden wore a T-shirt and ring gear.
Yeah,
Despite the interview, who was wearing a straight up suit and tie and
Yeah.
that against Bray Wyatt and so on.
Yeah, and Michael Cole kind of just like getting kicked out earlier,
Mhm.
early on in that, just like Michael, just get out of here. And, yeah, so kind of like a sit down one-on-one with Chris Jericho,
Yeah.
and a little different there.
But
But-
there was no Luke Harper or
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I mean,
They weren't there.
when you have to promote so much to Hulk Hogan and give him a big segment at the end, you got to cut then
Right,
the
yeah.
filler matches then. But like I said, every match that happened
Which is
had to do with a match on the card.
Yeah.
So at least they gave everybody on the card one last chance to push their match and
Yeah.
so on.
Yeah,
Like even Ziggler and Miz had a quick
and the
moment.
segments, and the segments too this week on Raw. Like there
Yeah.
weren't any like Adam Rose segments or any.
Yeah.
There was no
Nope.
Damien Sandow coming out this
Yeah.
week or.
No
you
stupid
know.
Sonic ads where
Yeah.
where they're sucking on what's clearly a fake slushy.
Yeah. Or like, advertising a hot dog or whatever. Or,
Did you ever watch that one time? The Usos on SmackDown were drinking like these Sonic slushies. It's clear it's like a plastic like fake slushy in that because there's nothing. When they're sipping it, it's not doing anything. It's like staying in complete form in that and like wiggling the straw around and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like one of the fakest segments I've ever seen as far as product placement goes.
Yeah.
Like this is the dog, the cheesy dog they advertised at one time. At least Adam Rose like took a bite of it and looked like it was like an actual hot dog and so
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if they make more cuts, I mean, this past week's Raw kind of maybe gave us a little glimpse into how perhaps it might be more often if WWE makes continues to make cuts because
I mean, besides the biggest shocking release was they fired their timekeeper.
Yeah. I mean,
and the guys had some big moments. The guy they fired is famous for throwing Austin the beers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all the guy's been the company in that. I mean, there are people who thought that guy had it for life pretty much. The guy's name's on my mind here, but yeah, no, he's been a long term member of the company now. I mean,
yeah.
I put it out there with maybe Howard Finkel pretty much as being one of the longest guys in that company in that. So, and like I said, if Howard Finkel gets fired, I mean, it's gonna be a lot of people.
Yeah.
You want to talk about serious cuts? Then I mean, when you fire long term employees, then who've been so committed to this company almost since day one,
Yeah.
that shows you how serious they are in cuts in that. Which pisses fans off there, but that just makes Wall Street go, I guess they are serious about wanting to make money in this network and so on.
Yeah.
No matter who they have to fire.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, so overall, better edition of Monday Night Raw. You had, you had a decent match with Swagger and Cesaro. Cesaro, I mean, another loss for Cesaro.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I mean, he's not really on the card for SummerSlam.
No.
Of course. So I mean,
so
they weren't gonna have Swagger lose.
Supposedly,
there.
whatever push they had in mind for him, they decided to stop. Because at one point they were doing a babyface push of him at one point. Maybe feuding with Brock Lesnar down the line. But right now they want to just focus on Roman Reigns. They want to just focus on one talent getting a massive push. They want to just push two guys. So supposedly when Reigns is done, then they're going to go back to maybe pushing Cesaro there. Because it's not like they want to get rid of the guy. The guy's super talented and so on. They think that they can use him for a lot of stuff. But I do find it hilarious that Jack Swagger is like the guy that's getting the rub right now and not him though.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think as soon as he loses, I'm pretty sure as soon as he loses to Rusev at SummerSlam, that's it. I'm pretty sure Swagger's done. Which means he might be on the chopping block then soon. Because really, then I don't know what you do with babyface Swagger then.
Something out or
In fact, I think, and like I said, I mean, I don't know. I'll get more details during our predictions and that, like about my thoughts on where Jack Swagger might be going or so on.
Yeah, Cesaro, I just think it's kind of he's just put on hold for
Yeah.
now. Really, kind of a little lost in the shuffle, but should get a push down the road.
I mean, like I said, if I'm like a Zack Ryder, I'd be super nervous right now because
Yeah,
you're finding a hard time to verify why this guy's still employed with the company.
yeah. Now, of course, you had John Cena coming out and cutting his promo. More intensity again from John Cena. When you have to face
I
Brock
really, I'm not
Lesnar.
gonna lie. I've been digging the fact that Cena's been taking this feud pretty serious. I'm glad he's not joking.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be joking when he's taking on Brock Lesnar. He just shouldn't
Exactly.
be.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Why would you be joking with a guy that you pretty much know in real life could kick your ass?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean,
Especially a guy who has really no sense of humor whatsoever. You watch Brock Lesnar, he has that intense look every time he comes out.
yeah.
He's never joking. He's never in a joking mood,
Yeah.
except when he wants to beat somebody up.
Right. Yeah.
Then he starts laughing and cackling.
Yeah.
Which shows you how seductive the man can be in that.
Yeah.
But,
I didn't get a chance to go back and after Raw and on the network, they had the prelude, which is a good. I think
they're
was
going
a
to
good-
show that multiple times during the week.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
other than the
Well,
schedule.
no, I
of the
mean
network,
you can
it's not-
go. I mean,
yeah.
and plus you can always go back and like
Yeah, I know.
click it on the.
I know.
I'll probably check that out later tonight. I didn't check it out last night.
I don't know.
but-
I think I'm probably gonna watch it over the weekend before SummerSlam.
Yeah,
and
it's only a half hour, so it's pretty.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing.
I kind of laughed at the whole decade long like feud. I'm like, I don't remember Brock and John having this long feud for a decade.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, unless they want to bring up the whole backstage, but I don't think even Brock and John had like any real problems. I mean, obviously, I know that like back in 2002, Brock had this belief that John Cena could wrestle for shit, pretty much.
Yeah.
Which was true. I think John Cena will admit that he was very, very green back in when he first came into the business and so on. There, and when you talk about Brock Lesnar, who was this technical wrestler back in the day, I mean, I could understand why Brock would have that feeling of here's this John Cena guy. He's lucky to be employed. He can't, he can't wrestle. He has no personality. I mean, because I think even when Brock got pushed, when John debuted, he didn't have that rapper gimmick right away, so he was just playing, ruthless aggression John Cena.
Yeah. He had like generic like tights and ring gear. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, more intense for Cena. Definitely, I'll catch the prelude though. I think later tonight. I think that was a good.
I'll probably watch it over the weekend.
That was a good incentive for people to get the network. You have something.
It was
like
better
that.
than the Hulk Hogan celebration, like aftermath.
Yeah,
which is a complete waste. I want to see how many good people actually just ordered the network quick to watch that, and all of a sudden went, "Oh shit, they got me."
Yeah,
like nothing happened.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe some people would say, "Oh shit, Sting might actually show up maybe finally."
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of glad they didn't waste Sting's WWE debut
on a
Hulk Hogan birthday celebration in that. I think it has to be
a
special moment.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, you had some legends returning. Obviously, Ric Flair and amongst other
Roddy Piper,
guys.
Paul Orndorff, who looks nothing like he did back in the '80s.
Yeah.
Of course, you got an NWO reunion. You had Scott Hall and Kevin Nash come down.
Yeah.
Both with gray hair and everything in that, and
not dyeing the hair anymore.
Just slowly walking to that ring.
Yeah, Nash, shortened his hair.
Scott Hall doing his usual survey thing he used to do back in WCW. I don't think fans got it though in the beginning.
Yeah,
because it's like who wants to see Hulk Hogan in the red and yellow, fans cheering and kind of that, and he's like Scott's like mixed in that.
Yeah.
I was like, and who wants to see him in the black and white? And then the whole chalking them up for the good guys.
Yeah. Yeah, and then of course, things heated up when Brock Lesnar came out. It's just one of those funny things. Like,
yeah. You want to say heat up, Tyler? Stare down. After stare down. I mean, the only thing that was funny was when he shoved Roddy Piper a bit. That was the only funny moment there.
No, but I mean, it's just funny because you hear, because right away, Jerry Lawler and Cole are just like, oh no, like this can't be good. Why would he do this and disrespect, Hulk Hogan? And it's just a funny thing. Like all he has to do is come out.
Why are the entire roster just part and let him walk down the ring and beat these guys up too?
Yeah.
It's like Brock just ran like straight to the ring with a purpose, and that there's like a moment there where it's like after the song plays, like guys looking back like, clearly it's Brock Lesnar. We could easily form a human chain and make him back in that.
Yeah.
He can't take all of us out.
Yeah. They just, I guess they just don't want to be any of the ones that gets clocked. I guess, or I don't know.
Because I guess when Brock Lesnar hits, he really hits.
Yeah, I guess you
not
just
the face, not the face.
you just don't want to take that chance. I don't know,
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, obviously it was, it's just, I mean, all Lesnar really has to do is just like come out with Paul Heyman and just like stand in the ring and
Yeah.
look in the camera and that's that. Have King and Cole, JBL, I guess at times, say whatever about Brock Lesnar. It was a little interesting. You saw, Lesnar like kind of butted his shoulder into Roddy Piper
a little bit.
Stare down with Hulk Hogan, and then eventually, and then John Cena's music hits, and he.
I did like the
out.
fact that he was staring down Nash, but he wasn't like getting up in Nash's face.
Yeah.
I don't get that. I get Nash is taller than you there, but the guy's got bad knees and a back. It's not like the guy's like
50 some years.
It's like it's like big sexy Kevin Nash, is gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see why he would avoid Scott Hall because he might have a taser maybe with him.
Yeah. So.
You don't get that reference, Tyler.
The ending of the Bill Goldberg
streak.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, so Cena comes running out, Cena to the rescue in a sense, but and kind of playing up the whole thing like, I'm in your yard and stuff, or I'm in your, etc. How early on in the night, how Paul Heyman was kind of saying that this is Brock Lesnar's house, this ring. And I thought it was funny early on, like, how Paul Heyman said, I'm taking, Brock Lesnar out to dinner, and then, a little later, and, at the end of the night, we're going to come back or something. And, I thought that was funny. Like,
well, he didn't say when he was coming, but that's the thing, too. How do you know? Yeah, it's like, oh, yeah, John Cena called him out, Brock Lesnar. Like, how do you know Brock wasn't even in the building when he called him out?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm, like, checking the time, and I'm like, what was it? I mean, maybe it was around, like, 10 o'clock or something. I'm thinking, well,
I'm sure John Cena doesn't know that, but either way. Oh, we're calling out a guy who's not even in the building and so on.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably like, at that. I mean, at that point, it's probably
like that one time
10 o'clock, and
I don't know. Do you remember when Miz first got pushed as a single star, and he did like that whole John Cena deal where he called John Cena and he never came out?
Yeah.
And then finally had Jerry Lawler come in here, and Jerry like, you can just call somebody out, and the guy never shows up there, and you wouldn't imagine that. Yeah. And he give excuses like Bruno Sammartino, Hulk Hogan, and Stone Steve Austin come out in that. Yeah. He says, look, I just beat the legends right there. The problem with that argument though is that people know John Cena was actually in the building when Miz was calling him out in that.
I mean,
like I remember watching that segment and yelling at Joe and says, yeah, but Jerry, John's actually in the building and he's ignoring an open challenge. I know Bruno isn't coming out. I know Austin's not coming out. Because I don't think any of them worked for the company at that stage. I think they're all like kind of free agents, or Hogan was working for TNA and so on. And Bruno was on a bad relationship and that. But I remember that there. But it's like when I heard Cena call him out, I'm like,
yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Like he's probably still
not in the building.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the guy.
I'm sure he's watching it at the diner he's eating at it going.
Yeah, or whatever.
Oh, Paul, I don't feel like running over that building.
I mean, for all we know, he might have been in the middle of a steak or something.
Exactly.
It was like sweet and sour pork, right?
Yeah, I mean,
he might have been eating. He might have been full.
And then, I don't know. Maybe
we're joking here. This is just stupid plot holes the wrestling always has.
He's not coming out. I'm in your yard.
I'm in your yard, dude.
Yeah. I mean, you figure they probably got out around like 8:30 to go to that day, or whatever after that promo, and the Hulk Hogan.
The fact that you even debating about gee, well, think about it, people want to eat it, and he had this. Like, well, it might took this much long, and they took a cab, trying to find service in Portland, and you don't know how the traffic's gonna be, and
I mean, he basically had like about a 3-hour gap there if you think about it until. He actually.
In all reality, they never went out for dinner. They were always backstage.
I mean, maybe he was...
So in reality, he was in the building in that. But if we're going to base on storyline here,
right? Yeah.
John Cena knows he left the building. Now, obviously, he doesn't know if he came back to the building. I would have asked that before you call out Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because
in story, we're thinking.
Because I don't know how you don't come off as being a bitch then.
Yeah, we're thinking in story.
Or a pussy if you're calling somebody out and you know for a fact that they're not in the building.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it would have been funny if, like, maybe, like, John Cena, like, maybe at the end just said, all right, you're still in the middle of dinner, huh, or something like that. But...
Exactly, acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Because to me, there's like some people saying, oh, Brock's such a bitch. I'm like, Cena could be the bitch, too, here.
Yeah.
He calling somebody out and not knowing whether they're in the building or not, even though you heard clearly in the building they went out for dinner.
Yeah, so... That's kind of funny. It's not every day that, somebody goes out to dinner in the middle of Raw like that,
Yeah.
You know, but when
I'm curious
you're
where
when
they
you're
went. I'm curious
when you're with
where
Paul
Paul
when you're
Heyman.
Paul Heyman's client, you know, I guess anything like that is possible in Raw. So
Did you
that
know
was
what would have
funny.
been great? Because I was waiting for when he was calling. I was waiting for like a camera to just go to Paul Heyman and say, "Hey, John, we'd love to be there. But
Yeah,
can you tell my client's
yeah,
eating right now?"
yeah. They're on like in some nice restaurant or something, and
Exactly there, because even now that Paul Heyman could get some heel heat back in that, and
yeah,
it also makes John Cena go like, "Oh, okay, so that's why he didn't come out."
yeah,
Well, I sound stupid now.
yeah. But yeah, I mean WWE. I mean, you know, little loophole there for that, but nevertheless, I mean that you know they kind of closed Raw at the end there
Mhm.
with the brawl and everything, and yeah, and then you had the rest of the birthday celebration after
What
that. But
brawl? No, they didn't even touch each
well,
other.
or I mean,
It was a
you
stare
know
down, and then
the
Brock walked out. And that was it.
not the brawl, but I mean, I'm always tempted to say brawl, but you know Cena coming
It
out,
maybe should have been in a pool party. Bro, we had the
Cena
entire roster out
Cena
there.
coming out and ready to
See, here's the
have a
thing.
brawl,
Here's the
but
thing. If you didn't have the Hulk Hogan celebration, the final moments would have been Brock and Lesnar getting brawling with each other, and the
yeah,
roster had to come out and separate them, like Extreme Rules, pretty much. That would
yeah,
have been how it would have ended. Because it's Hulk Hogan, a birthday celebration, and we got to end it with that.
yeah,
It's having to stare down, not touch each other,
yeah.
which is fine. I'm fine not even
I
touching
kind of
each
like
other.
that, yeah, because I kind of like that they just, you know, no contact until, you know, the SummerSlam pay-per-view. I was fine with
Listen, that's
that.
always been debated with every feud that they try to have as a big feud. Do you even have these guys touch each other?
Yeah,
Because when there's ever a big boxing match or a UFC match, if you notice when they do the weigh-in, which is when they actually go toe to toe in that,
yeah,
they always try to say, don't touch the other guy, like just, you know, like fake like
yeah,
stare downs pretty much in that. But get as close as you can to the guy, so
yeah,
that people go, oh shit, this means they can finally touch each other on Sunday in that.
yeah, yeah. I kind of like, and considering like the last time that they feuded 2 years ago, I mean, there was a couple, you know, I mean, obviously Lesnar returns F5, and then not long after that, you know, you have Lesnar, literally, you know, blood eating Cena, and you know, having those brawls, and so
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like now, at least right now for this month, they just kind of like, you know, no contact, and then plus at the end,
I
you know,
mean,
everyone was waiting for them to brawl, and Lesnar kind of just
but
walks out like, no, you got to
but then again,
buy
this is the
SummerSlam.
only Raw where they were actually on Raw the same night
Both,
together.
yeah, that too. So
Last
it's
night they both were on. Last week they both were on. Then you had the weeks where John had to go filming and
yeah,
that,
yeah.
so he wasn't on Raw those nights.
And
So
last week you had the you know the candid UFC style interviews, and
yeah,
so I mean, you know, they kind of planned it well, I guess you could say,
yeah.
as far as
As well as they're gonna
yeah,
plan it for this. Which way I said this wasn't the original deal. The original deal was it was gonna be Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar in that.
yeah,
Of course, Bryan gets hurt, and then you have to call a substitute. And obviously, the most logical choice was got to put John Cena in this
yeah,
match.
yeah. Who you know, I don't know if you noticed this, but when Cena comes out
Mm-hmm.
and he like, you know, he says like he's like you know, the 15 now 15 10, like he always
Yeah,
he puts the 1 and the 5 kind of backwards, like when he like, you
yeah,
know, looks into the like
yeah.
I don't know if anybody else is like you know, makes it look like 51 instead of 15, because he's like kind of like showing it to everybody else. So I don't know,
It's
but
almost like the one
it's
time when Dolph Ziggler hit Zack Ryder's finisher, the Rough Rider on the SmackDown. As
yeah,
soon as he did, he went straight up and he did like a 1 and an L.
yeah,
But he did the wrong hands in that. And Zack Ryder commented and said, "Yeah, at heel Ziggler, you did it backwards,
yeah,
like because it looked like IL, not LI. He would just
yeah,
tell you must do a Long Island."
yeah. So you know, I've been catching that on Raw, but
Yeah.
but so yeah, I mean, I guess on to the predictions part of this.
Yeah.
Now that we kind of talked all about Raw,
Mm-hmm.
you know, obviously, you know, I don't know you know what match is going to start off. I don't even, you know, pre-show yet. Don't really
I don't know.
know.
I have strong feelings to you. I don't know who the Usos are gonna face. I don't know. It could
Yeah,
be Heath Slater, Titus O'Neil. Actually,
yeah. I
since they
mean,
actually beat Stardust and Goldust on
yeah,
main event that one time.
yeah. I mean, for them, it's a little unfortunate. The tag team, you know, stories is kind of going to the wayside
I
the
would
past
say the
month.
Ascension, but they still haven't dropped the NXT belt yet. They might do it on at NXT Takeover 2, which I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
in September. That might be when they drop it, and then they might get caught up to the main roster, or who knows? Maybe I mean, how Paige came in, she was still the NXT Divas champion until they won in that. But I mean, like I said, obviously the Ascension's been rumored to come up. Obviously, Sami Zayn's been rumored to get caught up maybe eventually. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Obviously, there's a lot of NXT guys that a lot of people have been rumored that might get that call finally soon.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess we'll start with the flag match with Swagger and I think we kind of already called earlier that Rusev will continue his winning streak.
In my mind, Rusev is going to stay undefeated until that one matchup with John Cena comes by. And I said, hell, that might happen at WrestleMania 31. To be honest with you, depending on what John Cena is doing and so on. I don't know how. You can only keep those two separate for so long until you finally have Rusev take on Cena. Hopefully that feud goes better than Bray Wyatt John Cena feud went.
Yeah.
But like I said, after Jack Swagger, I don't know who else you can really throw in Rusev's way that would come up as a legitimate he already beat Van Dam as well. I mean, there's only so many guys you could have Rusev take on, and people could say this guy might actually end it. This guy might beat him, and so on.
Yeah.
So and like I said, I know people saying, well, this is Jack Swagger's chance. He's so over right now. And I'm like, I think he's over because, it's an American crowd.
Yeah. And
he's Mr. America right now. And you got, waving that flag around Zeb Coulter. I don't know if his character is over.
Yeah.
If you hear the chants, it's USA, not let's go Swagger, let's go Swagger, and so on.
Right, yeah.
I mean, like I said, and also, if Jack Swagger beats Rusev, where does he go?
Yeah,
where does this all American go then? Pretty much, honestly, if he wins, it's the end of the Zeb Coulter character. Because really, what's the point of him being a manager then? Pretty much.
Yeah, it remains to be seen, really.
And like I said, I mean, to me, I think Dutch Mantel is almost on his way out, and I think Jack Swagger might be on his way out soon.
Yeah,
because really, I mean, after this, it's back to me. It's back to the main. It's back to the mid card. This guy had his chance at the main event. Well, he had his chance of winning a world title again at WrestleMania, and he blew it because he got caught with marijuana in Mississippi, I believe, and that was it. It was, and I don't even know about what his punishment was during WrestleMania 29. His entire entrance was never shown on the pay per view.
Yeah, which kind of
which pissed people off because if you watch a camera of their entrance, they come out in this go kart kind of almost like a mini Jeep kind of with a flag in the back and everything. I mean, it would have been a sweet entrance to Swagger's theme song, but it was they came out during the video package for the Rio and Swagger match, and all of a sudden they end that, and there you go. You cut the Swagger, and he's already in the ring. So there was punishment that you knew where this match was going.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we both take Rusev there, and it remains to be seen where they go with Swagger after that.
I said Rusev, it's going to be eventually John Cena. That I don't know who else they can throw in this guy's path.
Yeah.
But like I said, Swagger to me, this is it. He's being put in here because he's this, he's the American representative against this Russian juggernaut pretty much.
Yeah, with the the right manager. So I mean, he's, for this feud, I mean, he's the right place at the right time, I guess you could say. Yeah, the Divas,
right gimmick at the right time.
Right gimmick, however you want to put it. And then you have the Divas Championship match, another match between AJ Lee and Paige, obviously.
I'm gonna go probably AJ.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm kind of hoping this feud keeps going. I think this feud is just getting overshadowed by the Stephanie Bree feud.
Which is why I don't think they're gonna do much with this, at least anything major with this match.
Which is why I would say, look, you either give Stephanie the belt or give Bree the belt, because that way, then at least that Divas feud is involved around a belt, then maybe as well.
Yeah.
Because now the belt, the Divas champion's filling second behind even the Divas feud.
I don't think they'd change. Yeah, I don't think they'd change the belt until maybe that Stephanie feud has died down with the bell, the Bellas and Daniel Bryan, however you want to put it. So I don't see that changing yet. And then, well, I mean, I don't know. It'll probably be later in the card than that Paige, but the Stephanie and Brie Bella match. What are your thoughts on those?
I keep hearing rumors that Nikki Bella is going to turn heel on Brie. I would, as much as cool as that would be. See, he's around Total Divas now.
Yeah.
As soon as you acknowledge their actual relationships in that,
Yeah. Nikki with
John,
John
that's
Cena.
it. So you got to turn
That would.
the face of the company's girlfriend heel. I mean, how awkward
Yeah.
is that going to be on Total Divas episodes then when John Cena shows? I know that we can say, well, that's reality. It's like,
Yeah.
but even reality shows have their own storylines added in that aren't real at all to the person in that. I mean, it's reality entertainment. I would say it's actual reality. But WWE's realistic, that's reality. Nikki and Brie are still, are still best of sisters in that. It's like, but in storyline purposes, they hate each other now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know why you would have Brie win and what would be the first, probably, I'm assuming, match of this feud, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I would assume that it's going to carry on. Obviously, of course, when you have that whole affair idea brought up last week, and now you got subplots out of this. So yeah, and it's Stephanie McMahon's first match in however many years. I think that they're going to want to.
It's not going to be a Matt classic either way you look at it, Tyler.
Yeah. So
it's just not going to happen.
So I would think that they're have her look strong. I guess
there's going to be a lot of shenanigans in this match.
Yeah,
I'm calling this a very shenanigan heavy match.
Yeah, definitely.
You can easily link this to Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler. Hopefully not as long and hopefully more entertaining.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, what's it? Brie put the yes lock on Stephanie McMahon.
It actually clinched it up for pretty well.
Yeah.
Even. It looked way more violent than John Cena STF.
Yeah, which is pretty similar to the yes
which
lock.
Which Steve Austin said constantly, dude, clinch it up, dude. Like,
I mean, I
remember that one interview he did on his podcast of Cena. He's like, dude, you got to clinch up that hold.
Yeah,
it looks so sad.
Yeah,
it's like you got this guy.
Every time he wraps it,
every time he wraps it on, it's like he's not even clinching it around the guy's face then. And in fact, even watching, the guy can easily just duck his shoulder over the guy.
Yeah, you can see the space in there.
And this is a amount of space. You tell me the guy can't duck it? I mean, I know some people saying, like, what's up with the pain? Is the pain's in the back where your legs like hooked up and all? It's like, no, the pain's supposed to be in your face as well.
Yeah. If he starts locking that on Brock Lesnar, there'll be no excuse because Lesnar's got this huge neck and
he's also a UFC champion. He should be able to counter submission holds, no problem.
So there'll be
especially a bad one.
Yeah. So there should be no excuse for Cena not to make it look legitimate against Lesnar when
Well, he better make those submission holds look painful. He's going to take on Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. So.
Like I said, I'm not expecting this match to be a Extreme Rules repeat where it's Brock Lesnar dominating for 20-something minutes. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, John Cena hits a chain and then an FU, and that's the match right there.
I totally even forgot to mention how Paul Heyman brought up the Lesnar was battling with diverticulitis or whatever it is, however you say
which
it.
He actually had, which pretty much ended his UFC career.
Yeah,
that's pretty much why he came back to WWE in the first place because his UFC career pretty much ended because of that.
Yeah,
I mean, he tried to battle it. Even as champion, he tried to battle.
My frustration was it's like that thing, they're trying to cover up for the fact that John Cena won that match and everything.
Yeah,
and, kind of a little silly. Only now, 2 years later, they bring up the whole disease that Lesnar was battling that ended his career, and that Lesnar was coming back from that. But anyways, back to earlier in the card. So yeah, I picked Stephanie McMahon to win that.
Yeah.
And the feud will likely continue.
And that's why I said Stephanie too.
Yeah. Bray Wyatt and Chris Jericho. I mean, we kind of already called that Bray Wyatt was going to win this rematch.
And like I said, there's no Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, both banned from ringside.
Yeah.
Even
which is good,
So Bray's winning on his own here.
No shenanigans.
Much. Yeah. I mean, their match of Battleground wasn't that great.
Yeah, it wasn't.
To be fair, they weren't on the best part in the card either.
Yeah, I mean, it was part one,
And like I said, I know people are pissed off Jericho. I said, look, Jericho needed to win that first match.
Yeah, exactly.
You want this feud to matter for Bray Wyatt. He's got to lose to Jericho at least once, and the best time would be the first time.
Yeah, at the lesser pay-per-view.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not so much how he loses. It's that he wins matches and how he wins matches, and that he wins the feud in the end. That's all that matters, really.
Yeah.
Because what was the main criticism of Bray Wyatt is that how he won against Cena is what really pissed people off. and then it was how he lost against John Cena.
Essentially lost the war. Yeah. So
I mean, like I said, I mean, Brady's gonna win, and to me, it sounds like they got one more match at the Night of Champions because it sounds like Jericho's got one more day before he goes up on another Fonzie tour again.
Yeah. So guess use Jericho while they can in this feud.
So yeah, no, Bray Wyatt's.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt. Yeah, we've been kind of calling that for weeks. I think even before the Battleground match happened. So,
yep.
so yeah, you have that. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose in their lumberjack match.
Well, since this match doesn't really mean anything
I don't.
anymore.
Yeah, I think Seth Rollins is going to get the win here because now the win.
I disagree.
I was thinking Dean Ambrose, but now it's a lumberjack match. I think there's going to be some kind of shenanigans. Maybe the authority. At some point, everybody just attacks Dean Ambrose, given that Seth Rollins is part of the authority, and they might have some kind of plan. I don't know. Obviously, the feud's going to continue after this match.
There's no way in hell this feud ends on a lumberjack match.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, to me, it's just
I had to guess when this feud ends. Hell in a Cell pay-per-view in October.
Which would be. I was.
And hell, who knows? Maybe by then Rollins is world champion. Maybe